PvZ has an update today, and that does not happen often. Perhaps once, maybe twice in my lifetime. This is the deck we're going to be playing. It's ramp, but that's not what I want to show you today. It's this Lawn Wars. So I got no clue what this is going to look like, but we just got to queue some ranked, and I think it'll like place us in a league. I don't really know how it works. This is going to be sick. Truthfully, I've been feeling, I haven't really been playing PvZH when I'm not recording, but I think that is all about to change. Okay, so we have a huge Giganticus, and now, I don't know if this game counts for my ranked, but I am like gonna be thinking smart. So against a HG, I think we'd rather Brain Nana over, okay, Corn Cob. Well, it's fine. Perfect. Down to the last. So HG doesn't really have anything to threaten with this, I believe. Yeah, sure enough. Let me pull up. I did have a lot of things to talk about, and I was writing them down last night before I knew that I was going to have an update video, which is huge. So this might just be the best channel. Dude, this shirt I'm wearing, it's like collar is too wide, so it slips, and it just gets a little scandalous, you could say. So we're going to weed whack into, I think we want them in different lanes. But now it's going to be 3 plus 2 plus 2, that's 7, I think, if I did my math correct, which is very crazy. Yeah, he's going to teleport to make his zombie a 3 cost. But unfortunately, we've defeated Zombie Killer. So in my last video, I brought up the idea of a niche versus a personality content creator. And if you did not watch that video, I think the easy way to understand it, I don't want this to die, but I think we'll do this turn, and then next turn we can do Allosaurus in front of it. Now, he could leap this Brain Vendor or something of the like. There it is. So perfect. That's like the worst card he could have gotten. So he's not even going to kill this Sun Ear Shroom. And now we're going to be making 8 Sun. This could be over very quick for Mr. Zombie Killer. So if that concept does not exactly strike a bell for you, think of a Moist Critical, or most streamers, to be honest, where people watch them because they're funny, or because, a variety of reasons. But fundamentally, where do I put this? Because a 4-cost Gravestone, I bet this is going to be Gentleman Zombie, given what he's shown me. My hearing, it sounds like when my cat scratches at my door at home, but I am in college, so hopefully there should be no cats around me. Yeah, I'm going to do this, and then I would love to cover up that environment, but I also want a Sunflower, so we're going to put it there. Pogo. See, I couldn't have won there, because he's just going to bounce this no matter what. Or maybe he'll bounce the Bird of Paradise, because, he doesn't have any way to deal with it otherwise. No. So, we can... Our ramp dies, which is sad. But we've made it far enough along the game that I don't really care about that. And we still get a Sunflower. So really, life's pretty good. So now we could either Allosaurus plus Superpower, or we can just rip a Cob Cannon, which... 2 Scorched Earths. Interesting. We could also double Scorched Earth and kill everything. Okay. So we're gonna... This is not the best Cob Cannon, but we can destroy the chest. Maybe if we knew he was running leaps, we should have destroyed the Mountain Climber. But... So he's gonna do 5 damage, but we will possibly do 8. So I think we are a bigger... We're in a good spot. I'm too focused on like winning this game because of Clan Wars, Lawn Wars now. So what I was trying to say is I gotta comment that video. Would I consider myself a niche creator? And I think what I was kind of hinting at throughout that video is that no one wants to be a niche creator, because that means people watch you because you know, for an external reason other than, you know, who you are as a person. And I think, you know, humans like to be liked. So, okay, we can do that, and then that, and then Allosaurus. And I think we want, I don't know if it matters where we put Allosaurus here, but we'll put it there. And then if we don't roll terribly, we win this game. So I think right now, I would have to say I am a niche content creator, because this is a very niche game. But I think we can all strive to be, you know, we all want to be a personality person, and so that's what I strive to be. But I think it's ignorant if you ignore what you are right now. So, the other thing that happened yesterday, I am on my school's Ultimate Frisbee team. If you don't know what Ultimate Frisbee is, because it's a pretty lame sport, it's like football, but not contact. You're throwing a Frisbee, and there's no, like, plays. So it's kind of not like football at all. Okay. So, while this would be a value Scorched Earth, I think we're just going to win the game here. So, let's win. Me squeaks, I'm going to win. So, in this practice, we had a section of the practice practicing laying out, as they call it, diving for the disc, either to catch or to block. And they had us do them on, like, bouldering crash pads, which they're just, like, mats, yeah. So you would jump and, like, slide on them. And they were trying to teach you the right technique so that you could do it in-game and not, like, break every bone in your body. What's that doohickey down here? Looks like someone new has popped up, neighbors. It's a brand new feature. Time to see if you're cooking at the top or toast at the bottom. So I'm actually really interested in how this scores. Kablammy, that's you on the Lawn Wars. Okay, so when active, every ranked win means more trophies to lift you up. Want to know more? Tap the info button. Okay. So you get a little reward here. Top 2 gets 250 gems plus a pack. Everyone else gets 15 plus a pack. Okay. I don't know why that name is in red. Femtenol Doses. George Pickens. Chicken. These are some great names. Furry 56 in first. This is a cool feature. Okay. Runs for 5 weeks. Each week is active from Friday to Monday. Oh, so it's only active on weekends. Interesting. Each active period is 1 round. That makes a total of 5 rounds in the season. Win ranked matches during an active round to earn plus 3 trophies per win and 0 for losses. Okay, so it's Playtime Simulator. Players are ranked by total matches played in active leaderboard rounds. No trophies are given when Lawn Wars is inactive. At the end of the season, rewards are based on your total trophies across all 5 rounds. Okay, so you get rewards. When players have the same ranks, the rewards are pooled and divided equally with the next rank skipped. Very interesting. I mean, this is a super cool feature, but my peeve, I come from a background of Fortnite, and Fortnite's rank system, for a very long time, was effectively based on playtime and not actually your skill at the game. That's how I feel about this. This is true, like, playtime is not something to be proud of. It should be your skill, your win percentage. And so, frankly, this feature's fine, I'll say it, but, like, I am a little disappointed. Oh, wow, he's swabbying. Very interesting. Well, he can't stop this Primal Sunflower, so we're just going to play it. Hopefully we get more ramp here, because trying to keep this Sunflower alive till turn 4 will be very hard. And we don't have any cards to take advantage of the extra sun. He's going to pass. This could be a smoke bomb. No, he's just going to gravestone. Interesting. So, back to Ultimate Frisbee. This really hurt, and I have bruises all over my body from, like, sliding. And then we did 1 on the grass. We did 5 on the crash pad, 1 on the grass. Dude, okay, I can't show all of them. My knee, or my elbow, you can see 2 there. On my other elbow as well, obviously. My knees, my chest, my quad, my wrists. My wrists are fine now, but they were really, like, skinned. And my hips. I've never had an injury here. It's like I'm very skinny, as you can probably see in view, but the, like, bones front part of my hips are bruised on both sides, and I've never felt that before. And it hurt. It was probably the most painful shower I've ever taken in the entirety of my life. Maybe, like, a really bad sunburn once, but, like, that's it. So, okay. We could no, we're gonna save this. Because he's gonna put down a cowboy or something big, and I'm gonna be really sad that I wasted my transmog on a 2-cost card. So we could do this now, or we could... I like this strike through. This ain't bad. And then we can do even more ramp. Gotta love ramp, folks. Love the ramp. Okay, he's gonna play that. He's trying to match my ramp. It's unlikely. I'm not thinking he will. Draw 2, doesn't matter. So, as I was walking home from dinner last night, I was reading my friend's Discord conversation, and we were all talking about how bad at making friends we all are. I would say I'm the least. Not the least, sorry. I'm not the worst in this server. We're a server of nerds. You know, I'm going to an engineering school. You know, we have very smart people in this server. I don't need to brag. We have a guy who just took the MCAT. We have, okay, I would really love to play this Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, but not with this Toxic Imp on the board. So I think we're gonna go like so, and then like so. Yeah, I mean, this is just good. It's just unfair playing a deck like this. I mean, I feel bad, but I gotta win these ranked games. Now that I know the system, I don't really care as much about winning in ranked. But, alas, I can't switch decks mid-game. I've never done that before. I have. It's whatever. So I was reading this conversation about how people were struggling to make friends. One of my friends went to a study group for a class they were in at a coffee shop on campus, and a very nice, cute girl sat next to him across the table, and he did not say a word for 2 hours. What? That's crazy. I heard that, and I was like, oh, we're actually cooked. So anyway, we're gonna, you know, we were talking, we're gonna try and find some group socialization over winter break, because we're all across the country. We'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys posted. I feel no need to play this Primal Sunflower, because he could have a Bungee Plumber. Simple as that. So, I was reading this conversation, and I saw 4 people in my dorm talking, and I was like, you know, people, I included, am struggling to talk, to meet friends. So if I play both of these, this will give me +2 Sun, 3+5, we can play Astrocado next turn. This is probably a TP or a, yeah, that one. Drone Engineer. Yeah, so we're fine. Brainana. Sorry, just doing that to sync, because, you know, I kind of forgot to beforehand. I don't want to make this a habit. Astrocado. Caught you off guard there. Caught ya. So now, this is perfect. Zombie does a bonus attack. Probably going to put it on that guy. On their Drone Engineer. He doesn't. That's actually really smart, because it gets the buff to kill both my ramp. This guy's a thinker. But he is playing a science deck, so alas, he's going to lose in the end. I don't make the rules. So now, we have... Dude, this shirt, it keeps sinking in. I don't have, like, the chest hair to make it look super cool. I just need to adjust it. So, I knew one person pretty well in this group of 4. And I knew one guy because he always talks in our physics class. And he just yaps. He's the only person that talks to the professor. He sits in the front row. and he's quite the character. And truthfully, when I saw this group, I thought, I just want to get in the mind of Physics Guy, as I call him, because he is such a character in the nicest way possible, that I just, what's going on in there? Like, he's like a little critter. I just want to see inside. Okay, Bungee Plumber. Well played. Not that well played, but killing his drone engineer, I'm sure he's very sad about, because otherwise he would be on quite the roll. So now, Solar Winds gives us this. I think we're at 6 sun. 6 sun. My laptop is about to die. So he plays something in front of my Sunflower. I think we're going to go Astrocado again. Astro Pit. What's he going to use the bonus attack? Probably the Astrocado, if I had to guess. Shirley. Don't call me Shirley. So it turns out they were talking about philosophy and the like. Okay, very smart. Good Bungee Plumber. And the main... they were talking about determinism, okay? Which, I don't know the education status of the average viewer of this channel. Determinism is the idea that all of life is, like, if we assume that every effect has a cause, then you can zoom that in and zoom it out, and that means every effect, there's a chain of causes causing everything in the world. And so, effectively, I thought my door was about to open. Maybe. Effectively, that's a concede. Very nice. We're going to play another. And now I think we're going to be first in our league, not to brag. Did I catch this update, like, right as it... How long do we have left in the day? 2 days and 23 hours. I think I literally caught it, like, on the hour. And I'm recording late. So that's kind of lucky. I have 9. When did I get extra? Is there a streak thing? Very cool. So, you know, you have this chain, and it effectively means there's no free will. You're a effect of every cause before you, and you're simply in that chain, and every action could be predicted. There's this idea of Laplace's demon, where, say, hypothetically, a demon had the position and, you know, movements of every atom in space at one moment, using, like, their velocities and accelerations. He could predict the entire universe before it happened and after. That's, I guess, the base concept of determinism. And I think that's kind of hard to argue, because, frankly, we don't know how we are. But it kind of, that assertion, you know, logically, you would follow that, like, what we are thinking is not, like, a real thing. We are simply, like, it's just an effect of the many, many billions, trillions of causes that have interacted with the neurons, the atoms in our brain. Which is definitely, like, sad, existential, you could say. But I think it is kind of hard to disprove. But I thought there were a few funny situations here. So my friend that I knew was arguing that if we agree to this determinism framework of all these causes, then either there will be an end where all the causes have happened to the effects. And if there's an end, there must be a start, because I don't remember. Like, I thought of, like, the bounds of a limit, where if you have negative infinity and then, like, to 1, you still have infinite time, okay? So you can never reach this end, because you have to have a beginning to have an end. But say there are neither, because that brings up the question of the first cause, which is, like, what started the universe, which Physics Guy was very adamant not to discuss. Or you could say there is no start nor end to time, and he was arguing it's very cyclical. So you could argue this in a number of physical ways. Maybe, do I want to burn this freeze? Yet nothing is really valuable to freeze. It's fine. I would really like a card I can play, but alas, we're not going to get that. But we're only taking 1 damage, so we could still win here. But having no cards to play is giving me great time to get through what I have to say today. So I think we'll save the damage just because we're about to be able to play cards. And so let's delay. That's actually perfect. And I think we're going to play Bird of Paradise next turn. Yes, it's going to be perfect. That's really good rolls. She Ross on my Rick till I roll. I should have transmogged that guy. Mogged. So we get to this point. And so if we can agree that one of these dichotomies of, the function of time of our universe is true, either a beginning or end, or a cyclical nature, that still needs what they called an external operator. Now, I'm sure if either of them saw this video, they would think this is a gross simplification of what they were talking about. And, I'm not quite understanding it. We're actually not going to play our Bird of Paradise because we're going to run out of space next turn, and we're not going to draw a card. But wow, his board is flooded, certainly. So we're going to see how much we can do here. So if this dichotomy is true, then there must be something that started it, aka an external operator, which is what they are saying, aka God. Now, what Physics Guy was arguing, which I think is pretty insightful, is he rightly called out that this could be a bit of a false dichotomy, and that truly the creation, like what we exist in, could be far beyond what we can understand. We're pretty dumb beings in the grand scheme of things, and so it's possible, like, it's just too much. What can I just... So I could just put this either. And I'm probably just going to put my second Cob Cannon the turn after. So I don't know which is better. We save 1 bullseye damage, but we save a card draw here. But we also get a hit here. He has 5 cards, so the card draw is not essential. I'm going to go here. That was just my gut. I'll continue with it. Wow. That's fine. We don't care about that. I guess he kills our Allosaurus, which is quite annoying. But we can Godify it next turn. So, oh, and we can even do this so that it doesn't die. And we wanted to burn that superpower so that we can draw a card next turn. So, the damage and the block meter may look like we're losing. But I would argue that we're not. We're in fact going to win here very shortly. Okay. So we're going to Godify, and then probably we want to do this to just clear out the board a bit. Because now is the danger zone when we want to stop taking damage. We could also Brainana to seal the deal, but I don't think that is optimal. So there goes that card. I decide I'm going to save the Godify. That's fine. That's perfect. And then we're going to Cob Cannon there. We're in good shape. This game's going to go on for quite a while, but it will depend on what endgame he has. And I doubt he has that good of endgame. And we have heals going now. So get some Birds of Paradise. This is healing 2 a turn. Perfect. Perfect. Down to the last. Maybe we should have Brainana'd because he just used Thinking Cap. How many cards does he have now? That's close to 10. I think 9. So, yeah, Physics Guy argues, likely, that the world is not, this dichotomy, proving the existence of an external operator, is likely we're missing information, and it's impossible, based on what we know, to declare that. which I think is a fine conclusion. And frankly, both of these ways of thought that they were discussing are useless, plain useless. I mean, they don't inform your life. Now, if philosophy is true, then that informs your life enough. But determinism doesn't really give you like a moral path to go forwards. It's not like if you believed in, say, you thought utilitarianism was true, where the best action was the greatest good for the amount of people. That informs every choice you make in your life. But determinism just says, you know, I'm a product of the causes and effects around me, and that's that. Which is kind of like, okay, now what? But what he was saying as a third person in this group was pressing him on, you know, it just doesn't make sense. Like, how can this be true that, like, we are not thinking beings, we're just simply beings of cause and effect? If I am thinking this right now, like, shouldn't the fact that you have a framework disprove the fact that the universe has no framework? And all physics guy said is, I thought about this for years, and you'll understand it when you're older. It took me, and I'm like, kill yourself. That's annoying. Shut up. You're not Aristotle. But what I did think was funny is I asked for their names at the end because I wanted to make this social encounter worth it, kind of tick the box that, like, I did actually meet new people. His name was Isaac, and he made the joke initially that it's ironic because he's named after someone from the Bible, after spending, you know, an hour talking about how we do not have the evidence necessary to prove or disprove a god. When in fact, I made the joke that it's Isaac Newton instead, and he said, no, actually, it is. That's what my parents named me after, was the physicist, Isaac Newton. And that made so much sense. I ended the conversation by saying, you've just told me that determinism is real, we have no path. Because I think it's really funny that the physics guy, that's how I know him, is named after Isaac Newton, and now I'll never forget his name. Is this deadly? No, it's just strike through. So we can always draw 2 cards to heal. I don't really... this can't frenzy. But I don't love being on 8 HP still. Oh, we could cover it with an environment. I like that. And then we'll... Brain Nana. The Brain Nana is pretty useless here, but we have 3 of them, so... You know, I don't hate it too much. And then we'll put another Twin Sunflower. Sure, why not? I mean, we've won this game so heavily. Oh, I forgot that would do that. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Now, he still has 20 health and a lot of cards. So I guess this game is not completely over. But we have a full board of, like, 4 5s. So I don't know what he's going to do. So the whole time, this conversation had me thinking of a paragraph I was shown in AP Lang long ago. And I tried to find it during this conversation, and I couldn't. So I don't know. ChatGPT said it was from the essay, The Rhetorical Situation, by, I forget the name, by some guy. You can look up the Rhetorical Situation essay, I'm sure you'll find it. But basically, how I remember it is you walk into a bar, and there's a big argument happening in this bar about something. It's been going on long since you came there, since opening. And, okay, so we can't play anything. I mean, we could conjure for the proc of the Allosaurus. Not that I really think that's useful, but at this point, I think his game plan is to just flood the board so he doesn't instantly lose, which is a good strategy. You walk into the bar, and you listen to the sides for a while, and eventually you decide you're informed enough to start making an argument. You say you're wrong, you present some evidence that you know, and then eventually the time comes and you leave the bar because it's late. And the argument is still raging after you're gone. It was there before, it's there after you. And I guess it's kind of just like a metaphor for rhetoric, for how we engage with deep conversations of the world. because we didn't start it, and likely we will not end the fields we're going to end up in life. And I just felt that very literally because I was in a... okay, so using bonus attack here is kind of lame just for extra damage, but otherwise we're going to clog ourselves. He concedes. So that's about it. That was my experience trying to make new friends, and it was a terrible experience in conclusion, as you can tell. The only other funny thing that happened is that our RA came to the lobby. It was like, do you guys want this? And it was a Jello cup from the dining hall and a cupcake. And my friend took the cupcake, and no one else wanted the Jello, so I was like, I'll do it. And there was no spoon. So I was eating a Jello cup, sucking and licking and pleasuring this Jello cup while they were just arguing about philosophy, about determinism. And it was very funny juxtaposition. I was just, and they were like, and that's why the universe is cyclical. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.